present you a new book called Fuzzy Mud by Louisa Carr. The genre of this book is kind of like sci-fi, and it's also like realistic fiction, and you can also call it fiction as well. But anyway, if you like suspense, adventure, adventurous, and mysterious books, then I highly recommend this book towards you. The three protagonists in this book is Marshall Walsh, Tamaya Doherty, and Chad Hillegas. Marshall Walsh was at first a cowardized boy, but later we found out that his courage won his darkness in the deep of his heart, and justice flooded over him. And another character is Tamaya Doherty. From a goody two-shoes to encourage Swell, the girl in 5th grade, Tamaya Doherty was not only now a rule breaker sometimes, but also a courage sweller. And finally, Chad Hillegas, from a bully kicked out of 2 schools and sentenced almost to jail by the local judge. He attended the same school as Marshall Walsh and Tamaya Doherty. From a bully to a kind and forgiveness boy, to a kind, brave, and forgiveness boy. This book is about the 3 characters meeting each other in the school and having lots of this book has 2 stories, 2 main stories suspended into each other. So after 1 chapter, it's like it goes to a lab which a hearing starts with senators asking about questions about Byron and Urgis and Fuzzy Mud. So the main idea of this book is the two stories mingle together with about is the first story is about Tamaya and Chad and Marshall in the woods fighting each other, and later on we mixed up with the second story, which is senators visiting and asking questions of scientists in the lab. And the scientists thought that this violin that they're going to create is going to make the world a better place and a better natural ecosystem place. But it ended up to be a medical disaster. So kind of it's like they found out that the Urgis turned into fuzzy mud, which then led to rashes and blisters and bleeding, and huge amount of money is paid into the hospital, and piles of men's and women's were flooded into the hospital to be cured. And then on, we found out that Marshall and Tamaya, also Chad, was in the woods. And now they are friendly all together, because in the middle part, you'll find out Chad forgave Tamaya for saving him.
Not forgive. Thanks.
Yeah, I thought to say that. Thank Tamaya for saving him. And the town started a whole stupid rescue thing, in which they sent it into the woods and saved people from the woods, from the fuzzy mud, and the violin and the Urgies. But it was said that the Urgies can't survive in air. But some of the violins escaped from the lab and then created the Urgies. But some of the Urgies survived in the air, and then it doubled and doubled into more and trillions and billions of Urgies, and that's how Fuzzy Mud came to life. And although the rescuers saved lots of people from the Fuzzy Mud, all the people involved in the rescue missions were also found out with blisters and blood streaming out of their hands or faces. So they all raced into the hospital, and then the story leads us to a medical service. And there, a nurse called Rhonda and a doctor called Miss Dr. Robert Crumbly created the vaccine that can cure the blisters. And so he found out that if he put a little bit of fuzzy mud on his pet turtle. I forgot the name, but it's the pet turtle. He put it on his skin, and the blisters came growing up. But there was only one blisters, and the enzygms from the turtle came swooshing out of his body, and from that he made the vaccine, and he found out that only turtles have them black. They have the black X games, and the other animals does not. The other injected animals does not have it. And so then the Tamaya and Marshall and other people were cured. And then the last chapter leads us to Tamaya and Marshall visiting Chad in the hospital. And this word will always suspend in my heart to be the most sweet words in my whole life. You're next, Tamaya. And in the beginning of the book, the 3 words meant that you're next, Tamaya, meant that I'm gonna beat you up next, Tamaya. But at the end of the book, it means that he's gonna be side by side with Tamaya, always be a friend, and always will not leave Tamaya alone in frightened mode. This book is about courage, humility, and grace. This book mainly is about 3 characters, and they're developed from a cowardice person and a goody two-shoes and a bully to a great friend, kind and brave person, and a sometimes rule-breaking and courageous girl. And these 3 characters inspired me to also do the things to make the world to be more ecologic, and I'm gonna be an eco warrior. So this book is
What?
Redemption and what?
Redemption?
Redemption. And the other one?
Forgiveness?
Yes, forgiveness, redemption, and courage.
Friendship.
And friendship, courage, redemption, and forgiveness. This book not only told about redemption, courage, forgiveness, and friendship, but also told us to develop from, if you are a cowardice person, you have to develop to a strong and courageous person, to a courageous man or woman. And I think that's the book review today of Fuzzy Mud by Louisa Carr. And I will see you next time.
You didn't tell us about the
System.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now in COVID-19, we have the so kind of it's like scientists believe this will make the world a better place, a more better place, but actually it just destroyed the world. So not only when you
the biofuel they are developed are like sorry, is what?
It's just kind of like